The following announcement has been paid for by the Fantasy Football Avengers.
Wait, oh, something mean, Gene? Me and my Avengerites, we've been down this road before, brother. We've had our backs against the wall after a week one disaster. But me and the Fantasy Football Avengers, we're gonna get your team right, brother. We're gonna give you the tips and the tricks to body slam your league mates like I body slammed Andre the Giant in the Tokyo Dome at Starcade, brother. And what you gonna do when the largest arms in the world and the Fantasy Football Avengers run wild on you?
You're now about to witness the strength of fantasy football knowledge.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Avengers podcast, starring Kyle Shanahan's, Boulevard, GQ, and GI16. And now, here's the boys.
Ew. Welcome back. Episode 4. It's 4. That's where we at 4. I'm here with the boys, Boulevard, GQ.
Yep.
GI16 is on special assignment. He's in Minnesota for the 49er game. And, you know, the official unofficial fifth member of the cast, Garfield, he'll randomly pop in here and there. He may give you some fantasy advice later. We don't know. But first on the docket, let's talk about that wild Thursday night football game. I tell you what, if you started anybody in this game other than James Cook or HN, you're probably upset. The game script got out of hand early. Then Tua ended up getting hurt, which hurt Waddle. And
real early. Well, to their first.
Yeah, Boulevard is freezing up. He's going to be doing that a lot tonight.
I was lucky enough to not have to not start anybody in that game.
Hey, I started HN, so I'm happy. I'm happy in all the leagues I started HN in. I'm happy. I did start Josh Allen in a couple of leagues. I was not happy about that. I don't have much Tua stock this year, but you know, prayers up for Tua. You know, wishing you a speedy recovery. And somebody put a Guardian cap or 2 on Tua, please. Please, can we do that? Can we do that? Like, for this man's sake, for his sake, put a couple of Guardian caps on him. Because if anybody in the National Football League needed to wear a Guardian cap, it's Tua.
I'm proud to say in one of my leagues I started A-Chain. I mean, Tua was a disappointment for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
All the interceptions and whatnot.
Yeah, the interceptions early.
First in the Hamlin didn't help either.
Yeah, the interceptions early in the game. I guess that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you target Robbie Anderson. I'm not calling him chosen. He has to earn that. You're Robbie Anderson.
Right, how you have a whole failed ass career and then change your name to chosen like you want to do something now?
and then you change your name to the guy who got his ass whipped in Karate Kid 2. Like, come on.
So I actually have a story.
Pick a better name.
Please.
I have a story.
Yeah.
The reason he couldn't change his name to Chosen because it was right around the time when the league laxed the rules on numbers. He wanted to change his number to 1. And he was going to call himself the Chosen One Anderson. Or whatever his name is. But he was garbage, so.
Which would have been even funnier to call yourself the Chosen One and your stats are trash. I mean, you're fast. You're fast. I'll give you that. You're fast and you're on a team with a bunch of track stars. But, bro, I'm a Robbie Anderson guy, okay? Because when Robbie Anderson came out his rookie year, I picked him up. I picked him up halfway through the season. He actually helped me win a couple championships. So I felt like, okay, Robbie Anderson could be that guy. But Robbie Anderson got stuck with Sam Darnold. So I always felt like
the excuse we making for him.
I mean, it's Sam Darnold. It's Sam Darnold.
Camera, don't zoom in on me. I ain't saying nothing.
But yeah, he got stuck with Sam Darnold, and he had a couple. I mean, he had a couple 1,000-yard years. Where he did something a little bit. I mean, that 1,000-yard year he had in Carolina, I think he maybe had about 2 touchdowns that year. So it really didn't help you in fantasy football at all, unless you were in a PPR league, in a deep league, and you had him on your team, and he was scoring you like 8-9 points a week. So, but yeah, speedy recovery for Tua, because if Tua does not come back, the rest of the Dolphins outside of Achane, it's going to look bleak. Skylar Thompson is not good for Tyreek Hill. Skylar Thompson is not good for Waddle.
I mean, shit, that's the top 2 picks in most of the drafts right there being compromised. McCaffrey being injured and Hill being quarterback challenged, I guess.
Yeah. So I saw something today about Miami possibly trading for Mac Jones. Or it was just a thought that somebody put out there. Do you think that would help at all?
There's a lot of that out there. I don't think Tua is going to miss that much time.
I don't think he's going to miss that much time either.
No, like, to me, he'll be back. He'll probably be back next week. He'll clear protocol and all of that shit and be back next week. No harm, no foul, so they get hit again.
But what do you think? What do you think Mac Jones would do with that team?
Nothing.
He would miss the receivers. He would throw the ball short on deep passes. He would do everything but help.
So you think Mac Jones would be Jimmy Garoppolo when it out there?
Slightly less than a Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, I think it's a disrespect.
Like Derek Anderson.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
Yeah, I think that would be
effect he would have.
What just got GQ?
No, I think comparing Mac Jones to Garoppolo is a disrespectful comparison.
To who though?
Comparing Mac Jones to Garoppolo is disrespectful.
To Garoppolo?
Yeah. And I'm not in no way, shape, or form a Garoppolo guy.
There are none.
There are none. All Jimmy Garoppolo fans wear high heels.
Basically, yeah. They be sending them fan mail.
Oh Jesus! All right, so I think any other takes about Thursday night?
I'll say this: quarterbacks out there, don't do what he did. Slide. Like you're going into second base. Get
your
down.
legs first.
Don't run neck first into a defender. That is stupid, and you'll probably die, especially if it's a zombie like DeMar Hamlin.
Listen, DeMar Hamlin needs to wear a chest cap or a guardian chest protector, something for his chest. And then Tua needs to wear the guardian cap. But I do have a question for you guys. How many more shots does it take for the league to say enough, Tua, enough? How many concussions was it going to take for somebody to step in?
I think when Tua is stretching off the field in an ambulance like DeMar Hamlin was, I think that's when the league is going to step in and say, "Hey, you got to retire, because if you don't, it's a lawsuit on our hands."
Yeah. I agree with that. I
mean, if he stays at this pace, he's definitely going out on his back. But I can't say in good conscience that he should stop. He's living his dream.
I can.
I mean, maybe he'll learn how to not smacked in the head so often, then he'll be a lot better off. Like I keep saying, just get down and slide. There's a reason they tell them to do that is so they don't get their bell rung.
I mean, didn't he took martial arts class last year to learn how to fall? Like, where did that training go?
It didn't go to his neck.
I guess in the heat of the moment, you down by multiple scores and you're trying to do whatever you can to get your team back on the board. I guess you just become reckless. You just become a reckless player for yourself, for you. Yeah. Now, if it was anybody else doing that, we would not be having this conversation. But a guy who has had multiple concussions, this is something that we need because CTE is real. It's real. It's real. Last thing I want is Tua to turn into the next Chris Benoit because of CTE. That's it. Look, I know it came out funny, but I wasn't trying to make a joke.
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
Yeah, Boulevard got a sick sense of humor.
No, we don't want him to turn into Chris Benoit.
We not want him to turn into Chris Benoit. Yeah. We don't want him. We don't want him turning into AJ. I'm about to say AJ Brown. It's nothing wrong with AJ Brown.
No.
Hopefully.
He ain't strangling no kids yet.
I bet Antonio Brown. Like, we don't want him to turn into Antonio Brown. That's what we don't want him to turn into. We don't want him going crazy on the field. So yeah. Tua, put the Guardian cap on. Learn to slide, my guy. Learn to slide. Protect yourself so that you can continue to provide for your family.
Yeah.
Right. Marlon's right down the street. Call one of them to come teach you how to get down. Shit.
Exactly.
Nothing
So
to
now,
it but to do it.
Now we're going to jump into these. That's not what I wanted to do. We're going to jump into these starts and sits. So, Boulevard, you got the games up.
No video, no animation.
oh yeah, we definitely gonna go there, but I want to give you some time.
Yes, I got the videos. I got the things up.
All right,
I got the ESPN one up.
Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Starts and sits of the week.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with the 1 o'clock games. What's the first game on the docket?
See, you're probably looking at NFL. I'm looking at ESPN, but either way, 1 o'clock game. I got New Orleans at Dallas.
Okay, so you're starting CD. You're going to start the Dallas defense. Probably going to start Dak.
Probably, yeah. Dak,
CD. Are we starting Zeke?
No. I'm not starting Zeke at all.
Yeah.
Zeke is for a bye week if he's lucky.
Yeah. Are we starting Olave this week?
I don't know. I don't like his matchup. I don't know which one of those corners is going to be guarding him, but I know both of those corners are solid.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Chris Olave. But then again, it's Chris Olave. He is the number one option in New Orleans.
Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't do jack shit last week in a game where they blew the other team out.
That's true. And Shaheed did. Yeah. So, I mean, if just based on what they've shown us, you'd probably bench Olave, start Shaheed.
Yeah, Olave got to show me something to get off the bench.
Right.
He got to show me something. And he got to show me something 2 weeks in a row, to get off the bench. Alvin Kamara, of course, he's an automatic start.
Yeah.
Are we starting David Carr this week? I believe he was top 5 in scoring last week at the quarterback position.
You're going to need to throw it.
Yeah.
I'm not starting David Carr because he's retired.
I mean, Derek Carr.
If you have no better option in a 2 QB league, yes, you're starting David. You're starting the Carr brother.
Yeah,
listen, I'm upset.
But that means you got to be fairly desperate to get to that point.
At some point this season, I'll have Bo Nix starting, so that tells you anything.
David Carr was a tough SOB because I don't recall him ever having many concussions, and he got sacked like 11,000 times in his first.
Oh, I'm sure he got his bell rung many a time. There's just nobody gave a shit back then.
Yeah,
you got up and you went back to the huddle.
Bruh, like I think it's a highlight film out there of how many times he got sacked the first 2 years in Houston. They did not give a damn about him. They didn't give a damn about protecting him. So who else are we starting from this? Of course, you're starting Dallas's defense. We're starting New Orleans defense this week.
New Orleans defense, Nolan's tight end. I can't recall offhand who the tight end is.
I think it's Jawan Johnson is the starter.
Okay. I like
what
him.
What about Taysom Hill? We starting Taysom Hill. Is this the week Taysom Hill gets the touchdown?
No, see, Taysom Hill is an issue because, he's going to get points certain weeks.
So this ain't the week that he vultures an Alvin Kamara touchdown.
It could be. They're going to need all their weapons on hand. Like they're going to need to pull shit out, try things, get creative this week. So maybe. I mean, that's what he's there for. He's an offensive weapon more than a tight end. So yeah, they're going to need him.
Yeah. Swiss Army knife ass boy.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna need him this week because I feel like Dallas is gonna put up a lot of points on him.
Dallas is a 6-point favorite, over under 46.5. Take the
over.
over.
Taking over. Taking over. Next game.
Tampa Bay at Detroit.
Ooh, that should be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a good one. Start everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who don't you start this game?
If you got a piece of this game, start everybody. Hell, I may even start Baker Mayfield over Joe Burrow this week. Who knows?
Baker Mayfield against Detroit defense. Yeah.
With those weapons, with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin actually finally looks back after last week. I want to say this is the week Rachaad White puts up some points. Like I think Rachaad White's going to get close to 100 on the ground, maybe 80 yards on the ground. He's going to get about 5 or 6 catches for about 30 yards and maybe a TD. So
it's like a solid game.
Yeah, you start
probably
Rachaad White
close to similar from Gibbs too, for that matter.
Yeah, I think since Montgomery's game was last week, I think this may be Gibbs's game. But what about Jameson?
So maybe if you got Jameson, you're starting Jameson anyway. Even though he's not really necessarily the number one over there. Well, he's not the number one, but
if he's healthy, I'm putting him in.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps him off the field is his health. So if you got him, you're putting him out there. I mean, this game has a 51-point over/under. They expecting points.
A shootout. And Jameson is always one play away from flipping projections in your league.
Yeah,
so
I'd run him out there.
What are we doing with Amon-Ra St. Brown this week?
Start.
Redeem himself. He's going to be ready.
Okay.
You gotta take a chance on him. You gotta. I mean,
what about Laporta?
Always Laporta.
Always Laporta. Yeah. You probably don't have a better option than Laporta.
You really don't. The tight end's been ass this year. Let's keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. They're probably going to be. It's trending towards a downward spiral for tight ends because if Kelsey don't get off, if Andrews don't get off, if Laporta don't get off, like, what do we have left? Like, when Gronk was the number one tight end, he always got off. Gronk always ate.
The dude in Tennessee had a solid game last week. I can't pronounce his name. I think you're pretty sure he scored at least.
What was his numbers? Because he was probably the only one on the team that actually did something.
I'm looking into it. Hard to find the stats. Let me see. That's right. Bear with me. My internet acting stupid. Oh, week 1. Oh, keep the conversation moving. Don't wait for me.
You talking about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Okaroo Karonko Ronko?
Yeah.
That that dude.
Yeah.
Chigosium. I guess I think that's how you pronounce the name. Chigosium. Chig finally. I just call him Chig.
Yeah,
Chig
he only
finally
had
a
2
game.
catches, but he did have a touchdown. It wasn't
Okay.
targeted much, but he did get a touchdown. Okay.
I Chig is he's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see he scored something like, wow, we actually started doing something this week. But no, same old shit, just got a touchdown.
I think as far as tight ends,
3 targets.
I think it's
only like 3 targets for Pitts. Got a touchdown with 3 targets. Maybe they're just not using the tight ends right.
Yeah, I think the tight ends they're trying to make them kind of like a thing of the past, or they want to employ multiple tight ends, and it ain't just going to be one guy,
Yeah.
Unless Likely has a blow up year this year, I think next year we just need to every league just need to get rid of the tight end spot. Every league just need to get rid of it. It's really not needed.
I'm good with that rule. Yeah, I'm totally fine getting rid of the damn tight end.
It is really
it's
not
like one of the least concerning picks.
Yes. Yes. What's the next game?
Throws off your whole strategy. Next game is. Okay, I'm stupid. All right. Next game is. All right. Bear with me.
No.
Colts Packers. I'll get there eventually.
You said Packers and the Colts?
Colts at Packers, yep. No Jordan Love.
I don't think I want to start anybody in Green Bay. I'm really upset that I got to start Jacobs. I got to. I got to start Jacobs, and I'm really upset about that.
He's the one person in the Green Bay I would start.
Yeah. I mean,
you
ain't getting that out of Willis.
The reason why I'm saying I don't want to start him because I feel like that game is going to get out of hand early, and Malik is going to have to throw the ball a lot, and they're going to have to get away from the run. When Jordan Love is in there, I know the game won't get too out of hand where they'll abandon the run. I feel like the Colts are going to be kicking their ass so bad that early in the second half they're going to abandon the run.
I don't believe in the Colts yet. I'm not convinced. They're a 2.5-point favorite, though.
You don't believe in the Colts?
Not yet.
But do you believe in Joe Hendry?
We all believe in Joe Hendry.
I do not believe in Joe Hendry. I do not acknowledge him as my tribal chief.
Set you up. Got it.
I don't want to say that I believe in the Colts. I just feel like the Colts defense is going to be better than Green Bay's offense this week. So they're going to get them off the field a lot. And Anthony Richardson is going to do what Anthony Richardson does.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of running around, missing a lot of targets, but hit a couple threes and it's going to look good. It's going to look good. Yeah. So I feel like you definitely start Jonathan Taylor. You start Anthony Richardson. I'm not ready to say you start Alec Pierce yet. I'm not ready to say that. And I'm a bit iffy on starting Pitts because Anthony Richardson is not the check down guy or over the middle guy. Like he struggled with that in Florida. He struggled with hitting the medium passes. He likes to go deep. He likes to chuck that shit. And
that hasn't changed in the pros either.
Right. And Michael Pittman is not I'm gonna hit the goal route and beat a DB deep. No, that's not his game. That's not his game. So I think Michael Pittman is probably gonna be hit or miss until And God forbid something happens to Anthony Richardson, he gets hurt, and Flacco comes in. I think people are going to be trying to unload Michael Pittman before the trade deadline. If Anthony Richardson starts the whole season, people are going to try to unload Michael Pittman because he's not going to really do much for you.
All right, well, I'm about to upend the whole system and say Malik Willis is going to have a hell of a game this week. He's going to surprise everybody and throw 3 touchdowns, maybe 1 interception, probably 1, maybe 2. So there you go. There's your hot take. I'm not going to tell people to draft him because I ain't putting that out there like that. I ain't putting my name out there like that. But
I want you to stand on that when we get down to the wild predictions for this weekend. I want you to stand on that.
I ain't got no choice.
That's wild.
That's what I picked in the pigskin. In the pick 'em. I picked them, so I got to go with it.
That is wild. What's the next game? Oh yeah. Start Indy's defense.
Hey, no reason to say not to. But I'm not going to say start Malik Willis, but I'm going to say Malik Willis is going to have a good game. Y'all are not going to be sending me hate mail after this shit.
All right.
Okay, you dead, boy.
He will go over 250 yards.
Willis?
All purpose?
No. Passing. He's going to throw
passing?
200. Yeah.
Ooh. I like the way he thinks.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Never stand on that. Let me write it down.
What we do. We are the Avengers of fantasy football.
Hey, if any of you start Malik Willis this week and Malik Willis goes off, I need y'all in these comments to say thank you, Boulevard, and thank you, GQ. I need y'all to say that. If he goes off this week, I need y'all to say that.
Send money. Send me money.
Like, he will throw 3 interceptions.
How many interceptions?
3.
3? Ooh, how many touchdowns?
1.
Good.
Now, how many rushing touchdowns?
None.
None. Good. No rushing touchdowns?
None.
Damn.
So 250 yards and a touchdown, but 3 picks. If you're in a league where they don't tax you for picks, that might be a decent game for Malik. It might be decent.
Hey, that's points. It's positive.
Yeah, especially if you're in a deeper league and you're playing against somebody like I'm playing against somebody this week who's starting Taysom Hill at one of his quarterback positions. So yeah,
I think I just played that team. I definitely just played somebody last week who was starting Taysom Hill.
They need to change their team name to Easy Money. That's what they need to change their name to. Easy Money bye weeks.
Cupcake.
What's the next game?
The next game is the Jets versus the Titans. The Jets are a 4-point favorite, if you can believe it.
No, I believe it. I believe the Jets get right this game. After getting embarrassed on Monday Night Football, I think the Jets get right this game, and I think the nightmare season continues for Will Levis.
Nah.
Nah. See, GQ has to believe in Will Levis breaks. He has to believe in them. He has to believe in him because I think you drafted him, so you got to believe in him.
I didn't draft him. However, I made my prediction early this season that Will Levis goes off those 30 touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
Happens this year.
You gotta believe.
He did. How many touchdowns he had in week 1? Like 1. So he's got like 29 more to go.
It's gonna happen.
So, are we starting Calvin Ridley in this game?
Hell no.
Calvin Ridley will be lined up against Sauce, probably.
Are we starting Hop this game?
Yeah, I'd say. Wait.
Think this is a good game for Hop?
Yeah, because one of them receivers got to get their numbers. One of their receivers got to do something over there. And
Guess
Sauce
who
gonna
I'm
be
getting
locking down
to get his
either
numbers.
one receiver or one side of the field.
Traylon Burks gonna go off this week.
Ain't no way in hell.
He's not even going to go off the bench. Like,
Right.
His bench stats about to be crazy. 100%.
He gonna go off because he ain't get a towel fast enough.
He gonna get 40. He gonna get 40 yards pacing the sideline. He gonna have 40 all-purpose sideline yards.
I think he's going to have a little more than that. He's going to have a little more than that because he's probably going to run the sidelines after Levis throws a pick. So he's going to run the sidelines. Well, what are we doing with Pollard this week? Are we believing in Tony Pollard this week?
I can't do it.
I don't believe in Tony Pollard at all.
Well, he's not a Cowboy anymore, so you know. But
no, I'm
he's
still riding with Spears. I got Tajay Spears. I gotta believe in him.
He's still got the Cowboy stink on him though, but he's not a Cowboy anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I hear Tony Pollard. I think Cowboys, and that ain't even the reason that I'm not starting. It's like remember the whole process that it even took for him to get to the point that he was last year, where he finally had the starting job over there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't want to commit to him for a reason, and then when he finally got the job, he flopped at it. I have no reason to believe in him. He couldn't run behind
crazy.
In Dallas.
It's crazy that you say he flopped. He had 1,300 all-purpose yards, but it's like, where?
Yeah.
When?
Well,
like,
I mean, it was just like empty calories. That's that whole.
Like if you drafted Tony Pollard on your roster last year, you did not feel the impact of those 1,300 yards. All right, so Boulevard is frozen, and GQ popped out. So you got froze, and GQ got kicked out.
Mm-hmm. But my internet is ass right now for some reason. I should look into that bill.
All right, so while we wait for GQ to pop back in, we talked about Tennessee, and they're playing against whom again? They're playing against
the Jets. Yeah,
the Jets. Okay, so what does Rodgers look like this week?
It's got to be better than last week, right?
Got to be.
167 yards.
He was rusty last week, but on one drive he looked like his old self. But then he started hearing them footsteps from Leonard Floyd again. Got shook. He got shook.
Can't have that.
I believe Garrett Wilson goes over 100 yards this week and has a touchdown.
That would mean Aaron Rodgers has a decent game then.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that, but I mean, I'm riding with Tennessee again this week. I went with him last week. I'm going with him again this week. Okay. Spears has to show me something though. That's the issue I'm having. I know I'm not going to get too much out of the Levi's. I'm not going to get top 10 quarterback play out of him, but I'm expecting at least top half out of Spears, at least to be like a top 16 running back in the league.
You know, I look at
this opportunity because Pollard, but I don't think it's going to be Pollard's week.
I look at all the talent.
Spears should be handed the keys to the offense.
I look at all the talent that Will Levis has around him and how he underperformed last week. I look at all the talent that Caleb Williams had around him and how he underperformed last week. And I just laugh at all the people that say stuff like, Brock Purdy got all these weapons, he should be doing good. Or Jalen Hurts got all these weapons that he should be doing good. Like, good QBs succeed with good weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just have, like, I don't think I've ever seen Hurts have a game where he only had 98 yards in the air. Not even as a rookie he ever had a game like that. Same with Brock Purdy.
Right.
Brock Purdy's never had a game where he only had 98 yards through the air. A game where he started and finished the game, it was never 98 yards. So, yeah. That's my tangent. I'm off it. But Lazard. What are we doing with Lazard? He's frozen up again. What are we
My
doing?
internet is being terrible.
What are we doing with Lazard? Are we starting Lazard this week?
I have never drafted Alan Lazard, but I mean, maybe no. Like it would have to be a shootout for Lazard to have any value in that game. Like it would have to be a shootout because he's not going to even get targets. Probably he's just there as another option, but it's all about Wilson this game. Offensively, it's all about Wilson. It's all about Hall.
Yeah, yes. Of course, you're going to start Brees Hall. You're going to start Brees Hall.
All those ancillary characters, no, you're not going to play them. Not unless you're desperate. Because you don't know what you're going to get out of like Lazard.
Right. And it's funny that you say that you never drafted.
That's going to be hit or miss from game to game. Most players.
And it's funny that you say you never drafted Alan Lazard because in our Dynasty League, Alan Lazard was a free agent the year Brees Hall came out. And the guy who had the first pick, my boy Josh, he drafted Kenny Pickett because he needed a quarterback. He drafted Kenny Pickett number 1. The guy who was sitting at number 2, I swore he was going to take Brees Hall. I swore, and I said I'm going to end up with Damian Pierce. He took Alan Lazard. And I don't know why. He took Alan Lazard in a Dynasty League number 2. I couldn't hit Brees Hall's name fast enough. He dropped to me. I'm like, yes, this is what I'm talking about.
Sometimes they do you a favor in them leagues.
Huge favor. I want to thank my boy for that. What's the next game?
Apparently Maryland beat the Cavaliers. Next game is San Francisco at Minnesota.
Oh,
I'll let you take the lead on this one. Do you think?
Minnesota's defense looked really good last week, but they weren't tested. So they're going to be tested this week. I definitely feel like the game script is going to be kind of what it was when we played against the Jets. We're going to try to establish the run early. I think Jordan Mason is going to get a lot of carries. I feel like Jordan Mason may score a couple touchdowns this week. So if you got Jordan Mason, you may want to start him. You're going to start Debo. You're going to start Kittle. You're going to start Ayuk because you just don't know which one of these guys are going to get the run this week. But that's who you want. You want to start those guys. You want to start Brock Purdy. Now, both of my co-hosts are gone. So I'm going to still go off on a tangent because we're talking about the 49ers. I don't know if you start Sam Darnold this week. Sam Darnold, like you really didn't start Sam Darnold last week unless you had absolutely no choice.
Right.
But I don't think you start Sam Darnold this week.
That's probably the way it'll be every week with Sam Darnold.
You definitely want to start Justin Jefferson, even if Minnesota finds themselves getting beat on. There's always a chance for a late TD score. Like you're gonna start Justin Jefferson. He's probably the best wide receiver in the league. GI16 just texted me. We in the studio. All right. So are we starting Aaron Jones?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know how productive he's going to be against that D line, but
yeah, I don't think we have much. If you drafted him, you really don't have a choice.
Yeah, what was his production last week?
I think he might have scored a touchdown last week, a long touchdown. I think he got off last week.
Okay.
But then again, he was playing the Giants.
Yeah. You got to always take that into account, the level of competition they succeeded against.
Yeah. But at the same time, you still start your guys. If you drafted him in the first 5 or 6 rounds, you got no choice. You got to start him. because who else you gonna play at running back? Unless you picked up Jordan Mason, who else are you starting at running back this week? Other than Aaron Jones. So yeah, you definitely got to start Aaron Jones.
Right, this early is definitely the people you came with.
Right. Next game.
Seattle at New England.
I want to say this should be an ass whooping for Seattle, but Seattle struggled last week against the Broncos. This
That
game
over under is 38.5.
And it may be closer than that. It may be closer than that. I'm not ready to say I believe in Seattle's defense. So Ramondre Stevenson can get off. Start Ramondre. Ramondre's probably the only Patriot you're starting. I don't believe in none of their wide receivers. So Ramondre's probably the only player that you're starting. Seattle, if you don't have any other choice, you can start Geno. If you have no other choice. I want to see DK get off this week. I want to see DK finally get off. So you're gonna start DK. Are we starting Zach Charbonnet? I'm not 100% sure if we're starting Zach Charbonnet, because last year when Zach Charbonnet got the run, he really didn't do much with it. He got to show me something. Like if you picked up Zach Charbonnet, unless you absolutely have no choice, I would wait. I would wait and see what kind of game he has before I'm comfortable with starting him. Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Tyler
Lockett. I don't know about starting.
He went off last week.
I don't know. I kind of called that one. So
yeah,
let's go with that.
Yeah,
I mean, because people still sleeping on him. So yeah, if you got him, start him.
I don't believe in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Don't believe in him yet. I don't believe in him yet. He was supposed to supplant Tyler Lockett, but Tyler Lockett ain't going. He ain't going. Tyler said I could still get open. I'm not going.
Can't make it easy for him. So.
Right. What's the next game?
Next game is
all right. So you went Daft Punk on me again. Give me 1 second. All right. So while Boulevard gets his thing together, we're going to talk Giants and the Commandos. Malik Neighbors. I'm probably starting Malik Neighbors. And I think that may be the only player on the Giants that I start this week. I'm not 100% sure about Devin Singletary. Didn't show me much last week. He did get a lot of run. He did show that he would be the bell cow, but he didn't get a lot of run. From the Commanders, I need McLaurin, Scary Terry, to do something. I need him and Daniels to get on the same page and show me something. You're going to start Daniels. Because Daniels he's going to give you is going to give you a lot with his legs. Even if his arm doesn't do it, Daniels is going to give you a lot with his legs. So you want to start Daniels.
Absolutely.
I want to see McCaffrey do something. I want to see McCaffrey and I want to see McLaurin do something. Brian Robinson, I think we can start Brian Robinson now.
Yeah.
He's catching the ball and doing glorious things with it after he catches the ball. So I think you want to start Brian Robinson.
Yeah. You can safely start him against the Giants D.
Yeah.
Neighbors.
Next game.
Oh
yeah. I already said start Neighbors.
okay.
He's probably the only Giant that you start.
Yeah, I mean that Commander secondary is horse shit. So
yeah, so he's probably the only Giant that you start. Neighbors.
Yeah. All right. Next game is Chargers at Carolina. Chargers by 5.
By 5? It's probably gonna be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be a thrashing. This is going to be a thrashing, but I don't know if I'm starting many people from this game. I'm starting J.K. Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting Lad McConkey. I may start Gus. I don't know. If I lost a player this week and I ain't got no other choice, I'm starting Gus.
Right.
Josh Palmer. We starting Josh Palmer?
I wouldn't unless I had to.
Yeah. Deeper leagues.
Definitely
Yeah.
in deeper leagues. I mean, I gotta have better options than Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
Who
we start? We starting anybody from the Panthers?
They didn't really his offense.
Like I don't think I want to start anybody.
Stupid internet.
I don't think I want to start anybody from the Panthers.
No.
Deontay Johnson didn't show me nothing. The running back Chuba Hubbard didn't show me nothing. Of course, Bryce Young, terrible. Thielen didn't really show me nothing. Leggett didn't really show me nothing. Although
Leggett maybe just for the upside.
I may have somebody from the Panthers that I might want to start, but we're going to hold that one for later. We'll hold that for later. Next game.
All right. Next game is Cleveland at Jacksonville.
Cleveland and Jacksonville. Okay. I want to say
going around door to door in Jacksonville, telling people.
I want to say start Amari Cooper. Are we starting Jerome Ford?
I don't know enough about Jerome Ford yet. I don't know. I'm not familiar with his game yet.
Are we starting anybody on the receiving core outside of Amari Cooper?
This week, no. It's like we don't even know what Deshaun Watson's going to do.
Yeah.
Like he's going to be a problem in a negative way.
If you have no choice but to start Deshaun Watson, pray for you.
That's me. My choices are either Watson or Bryce Young.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my light just went out, not the microphone. Cool.
My choice is Watson or Bryce Young as my second QB. So I got to start Watson.
Are we starting Sunshine against? For those who don't know, Sunshine is Trevor Lawrence. But if you're watching this show, you should know who Sunshine is. Are we starting Sunshine versus that Cleveland defense?
No. Yeah, probably. I mean, he's probably in a 12 QB league. You probably have no choice.
All right. So are we starting ETN or Bigsby?
ETN.
Okay. I feel like people rushed to get Bigsby because he got more carries than ETN last week, but they don't understand how things are run in Jacksonville. And
Right.
you're a Philly fan, you're an Eagles fan, so you understand how that team is run. You fumble, you get punished.
Mm-hmm.
Your backup is going to come in and get more reps than you.
I mean, I would hope every team's running their operation.
Oh, Boulevard froze up again. So we're gonna move on to
This question.
we're gonna move on to what game is next? Raiders versus Ravens.
LA at Arizona.
Oh, LA, Arizona.
Right, Vegas. Right.
LA.
Okay.
You want to do
Oh,
LA,
no,
Arizona?
I got Vegas.
Because
We
that's
can do
easy.
Vegas Baltimore first.
That's easy.
I know, but I'm
Start
way
all
more
your
intrigued by this Vegas Baltimore.
And
Huh?
start all your Ravens. You got the Ravens defense.
Yeah.
Start them. You got
Exactly.
you got Lamar Jackson. You start Lamar Jackson. You got Derrick Henry. You start Derrick Henry. You got Zay Flowers. You start Zay Flowers. You start Likely. You start Andrews. You got a Raven. Start them. They're gonna destroy the Raiders this week. I don't think anybody. I don't think I'm starting unless I absolutely have to. I don't think I'm starting anybody on the Raiders. Maybe Adams, maybe Devontae Adams. That about it. I don't think I'm not starting.
Yeah,
Zamir.
they're going to be playing from behind, so they're going to have to throw.
Yeah. So, I'll start Brock Bowers. I'll start Brock Bowers, and I'll start Devontae Adams. I'm not starting Zamir White this week. I'm not starting Zamir White this week. Not this week.
Hell no.
Nah.
He was such a disappointment last week for so many people.
Right. Like a lot of people
was really buying the hype on that man.
Yeah, they took him. Thank you, fantasy football counselor, for getting people hyped about Zamir White. I hope you own that one. I really do. I hope you own that one. But yeah, I'm not with Zamir White this week.
No.
What's the next game?
LA at Arizona.
Start everybody. This should be a shootout because the Rams defense is really not that good. Right. At least they're not gelling yet, so they can still get taken advantage of.
Right.
I feel like Kyler Murray is going to pepper Marvin Harrison with targets this week.
This is the game. Make up for last week.
This is the game. I feel like he's going to pepper him. He has no choice. He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. So I feel like this is going to be the week that he gets target. He gets a lot of targets. I say he gets about 11 targets this game, catches about maybe 7 passes for about $110 and a touchdown.
That's a solid game. Yeah.
Solid game. But on the flip side, I think Cooper Kupp gets about 20 targets.
Right. No Puka.
Catches about 18 passes for 130 yards and a TD. Cooper is going to save your week again as long as he makes it through this game.
In other words, start the shit out of Kupp.
Yes. Now, who's going to get the targets opposite of Kupp? Is it going to be Demarcus Robinson or is it going to be Johnson? I'm going to say a lot of people ran to get Robinson, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be Johnson and Parkinson, Kobe Parkinson.
Absolutely.
Those two are going to get the targets opposite of Cooper Kupp. So
I'm gonna be seeing Kobe Parkinson all season until people start listening.
Yes. So go if you don't have Kobe Parkinson on your team, if you don't have Johnson on your team, get him right now. Let's see.
Wait, before the next game, let me point out.
Of course, Kyrie. You're gonna start Kyrie, and you're gonna start James Conner.
Yeah.
You start James Conner until he gets hurt.
Inevitably.
Yeah, because he's a warrior. So you start him until he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm. Just want to point out two things. The line for the Ravens versus Raiders, Baltimore's an 8.5-point favorite. So they expecting
An ass whooping.
Yeah. And their line in Rams versus Cardinals is even. I don't know how many times I'm going to see that one this season, but I did want to call attention to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, they can't call it.
Yeah, they can't call it. It's going to be a very good game. Yeah, I'm hoping for a shootout. I'm hoping for a game like we had Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where
everybody is eating. Everybody's teams was eating in that game.
We need those games.
We need those games.
We need those games. Those
What's
games make fantasy champions. Shit.
What's the next game?
Pittsburgh at Denver. Pittsburgh is a 2.5-point favorite. I guess this is the Russell Wilson Bowl or something. I doubt he's playing now.
Bruh. Start the Steelers defense. Maybe Pickens. Maybe. Like, nobody on that team is really going to be start worthy as long as Fields is the quarterback.
If they start Warren, but Pittsburgh ain't even figured out he's the better running back yet. So
yeah,
it's like everybody else done figured out Warren's better than Harris, but they ain't figured it out yet.
Somebody dropped Warren in one of my leagues. I made to go snatch that motherfucker up. Start nobody in Denver until somebody can prove that they can actually be viable for fantasy. Maybe Bo Nix, maybe, if you're in a deeper 2-quarterback league and you got no other choice, but you're going to be disappointed. Pittsburgh's defense is the only surefire start of this game.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Man.
What's the over under on this game?
36.
Smash the under.
Right? And the under low as a motherfucker. And you still got to go under that. Don't expect nothing out of this game. This is the trash bowl.
Oh, you can start Pittsburgh's kicker. You can start him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He real good at kicking.
Yeah. So what's the next game?
Cincinnati at Kansas City. I feel like I've seen this before.
We've all seen this before. I feel like Kansas City is gonna run up the score early, and Cincinnati's gonna be playing from behind. So you may get garbage time points out of Burrow and out of Chase.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is not playing this week.
No.
And I don't want to start any of those other bums that that Cincinnati has. Right. But however, on the flip side, you can start Mahomes this week. You can
better be starting.
You can start Pacheco this week. You can start Rashee Rice. You might be able to start Xavier Worthy, and you should be starting Travis Kelce if you got him. Other than that, I don't see anything promising from Cincinnati on this side. Like I said, you may get some garbage time points out of Burrow. You may get some garbage time points out of Chase, but I feel like Kansas City's gonna whip that ass.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They're gonna whip that ass. Yeah.
TKO.
Next game.
Next game is Chicago at Houston. The over-under on the KC game was 48.5.
I may take the under. I don't see much out of Cincinnati this year. And Cincinnati was my one hope to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't see it. Not this year. But you said Chicago versus Tennessee? Not Tennessee. Hold up. Chicago versus the Texans. Okay. This is the Sunday night game, I believe, this week. So I'm not starting Caleb Williams. Keenan Allen, I read that he was injured. He may start, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm starting Keenan Allen this week. DJ Moore, I may start DJ Moore. I want to start Devontae Swift, but Swift ain't showing me nothing.
This could be the week for him.
It could be. We'll see. Of course,
Probably
you're going to
need
start Stroud. You're going to start Stroud, of course.
Absolutely.
You're going to start all his weapons too. You start all his weapons. If you have a piece of that offense, you start it. The Bears have a really good defense. They have a really good defense. It's underrated. It's underrated, but you know, I feel like everybody on the strides are gonna get they're gonna eat this week. Start Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a start. I think this is going to be a bad Monday night game. I think this is going to be a bad Sunday night game. Like it's going to get out of hand early. So it's not going to be entertaining. It's not going to be entertaining unless you're watching because you have a player going in that league. That's the only, that's probably one of the things that made me really, really watch football as much as I do. What play fantasy football? I'm watching every game because I got players going. So I'm watching and I'm analyzing. Yes, I'm invested because I'm watching because I got players going and I'm watching to see who I may want to pick up next. So yeah. Thank you for fantasy football for making me watch more football.
Yes.
What's the next game?
The next game is the Monday night game, and that's the Falcons going to Philly to get beat the fuck up.
Yes. This is going to be bird on bird violence, and one bird is just not going to make it, and it's going to be the Falcon. You start Bijan because you really not saying that you don't have, not saying you don't have a choice. It's Bijan. You're going to start Bijan.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. Kirk Cousins got to show me that he's back before I'm comfortable starting Kirk Cousins. Drake London has to show me in more than a week his consistency. Like he has to put up points consistently back to back before I feel like he's a viable option.
I have a lot up for this game too.
Have a what?
I have a lot for this game. I just covered this game on the other show.
Okay.
Like, check this shit out, right? Last week,
watch live from the bench, by the way.
Last week, the Falcons did not attempt a pass of more than 20 yards. They did not throw the ball downfield. They only ran one play action pass, the Falcons did. And they still got pressured on damn near almost half of his dropbacks without a blitz. Steelers got pressure on Cousins. And, that's all it takes. But that's what I had for him. Cousins had a terrible game.
Well, you know why that is, right?
Because he can't move.
Yeah, he's afraid to plant with that the messed up foot. So that's why he doesn't look confident or comfortable in that pocket.
Right.
Which I believe he should have maybe started the year off on the pup list, and we should have seen what the kid has.
Yeah, that's the thing with them. I feel like once they go to Phoenix, they can't go back to Cousins, but Cousins is too hurt to stay on the field. It's a hell of a situation. Like, he should be sitting, but he'll never play again in Atlanta if he sits.
Right.
But they're giving him so much damn money that they almost have no choice but to play him. But yeah, it's a cycle, I guess.
They're screwed.
Yeah. But last week, right? Like, the receivers, for the most part, were out there for every drop back. And between London and Mooney, that's 3 catches. 3 catches on 6 dropbacks. They wasn't even targeting the receivers outside of Mooney. Ray McLeod had 7 targets. Pitts had
Crazy.
3. London had 3. Mooney had 3. Ray McLeod had 7. What's wrong with this picture here?
I'll tell you what's wrong with the picture. What's wrong with the picture is Kirk Cousins.
Exactly.
He's hurting ass.
Mm-hmm. Both of those things, exactly. I mean, you got a budding star out there in fucking Bijan, and he's going to be held back by every other position on his offense.
Like
just
why are we not checking it down to Bijan and letting him work?
Why is Pitts only getting 3 targets?
Hey, this is Pitts last year to prove to me that he belongs in the fantasy viable conversation, because I don't think he's fantasy viable.
No, he hasn't shown it yet.
Not at all.
We begging him to show us something.
And the 1 year that he did get 1,000 yards, he only had like 1 TD. That did nothing for nobody.
Yeah, that didn't help.
Yeah. So that's the last game, right?
Yeah, that's there. That's Atlanta.
All right. So now me and Boulevard, we're going to chill for a second. We're going to let my boy, young Krice the Jesus, come and give us his top 5 plays of the week at every position. So sit back, relax, and let my boy do his work.
Word to mother, son, this is young Krice to Jesus, aka the RZA, cause I will riz your bitch up. Word to my mom's pizza box, aka Young Shampoo, aka the Stacksonville Jaguar, and I'm about to give you my top 5 plays of the week, you heard? I'ma start with my top 5 quarterback plays, word to mother, son. And number 1 is not Joe Burrow, cause the nigga trash. So I got number 1, Hurts versus Atlanta. I felt like Atlanta's defense was more overhyped in the offseason, and they are right to get run all the way the hell over. Then I got number 2, Lamar Jackson at the Raiders. Reasoning, C number 1. Number 3, I got CJ Stroud versus Chicago. Chicago's got a pretty good defense, but I felt like CJ Stroud can light them up with the weapons that he has, you heard? Number 4, I got Mahomes versus Cincinnati. I felt like Cincinnati is going to get throttled this week. I know throttled is a word that us New York niggas don't use very often, but it's going to happen this week. Number 5, I got Baker Mayfield versus Detroit. What the hell is happening in 2024? I have Baker Mayfield as a top 5 quarterback play of, yeah, and now your boy Mr. Young Krice, aka Mr. Mumra Muscles, will give you a top 5 running back plays of the week. Number 1, Saquon Barkley versus Atlanta. Atlanta's going to get run all over, and Saquon is going to put in work. I got number 2, Breece Hall versus Tennessee. Breece Hall did pretty good against the 49ers last week. You know, that stout defense, so I feel like Breece Hall could really get his man off against Tennessee, you heard? Number 3, I got Bijan versus Philly. Bijan, mainly because he can catch passes out of the backfield. He's gonna put up some numbers versus Philly, even though Atlanta's gonna get stomped. Number 4, Jonathan Taylor versus Green Bay. Green Bay doesn't have a quarterback, so I really feel like at this point, by the 3rd, 4th quarter, they're gonna be salting away the clock. They're gonna be getting stomped on, and Indy's gonna be stomping away the clock. So Jonathan Taylor's gonna get a lot of run. Number 5, Derrick Henry versus the Raiders. Of course, the Raiders defense is trash. Derrick Henry should get a lot of run this game. He doesn't have to worry about Mahomes on the other side of the field putting up numbers on his defense, so he should get a lot of run. And I got a fringe top 5 play for you this week, Jordan. Now your boy, Young Krice the Jesus, aka the God, aka Mr. Whale Knuckles. I'm about to give you my top 5 wide receiver plays, you heard? Number 1, Cooper Kupp versus Arizona. We all know what happens when Cooper Kupp is in the building and he's healthy and Matthew Stafford's at quarterback. It's going to give him a lot of targets. If you got him, start him. A.J. Brown versus versus Atlanta. We all know what's going to happen here. A.J. Brown going to get his man off on him. Number 3, CeeDee Lamb versus New Orleans. New Orleans, the Saints, They played pretty good on defense last week, but that was the Carolina Panthers. The Dallas Cowboys are not the Carolina Panthers, so CeeDee Lamb should really get off this week. Number 4, Brandon Ayuk versus Minnesota. And I know that sounds crazy because Brandon Ayuk looked like dog shit on the field Monday night, but this is the week Brandon Ayuk gets it right. Number 5, Rashee Rice versus Cincinnati. Bang that, you heard? Pause. And now your man's is about to give you the top 5 tight ends of the week. Honestly, why do you guys have tight end spots? Tight ends are fucking horrible. Get rid of that shit. So yeah, we just gonna say fuck the tight ends, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my top 5 defenses of the week. Number 1, Colts versus Green Bay. Malik Willis' ass, son. Word to mother. Colts are gonna run all over this nigga. 2, Ravens versus the Raiders. Gardening Minshew's is fucking horrible. The Ravens are going to destroy these niggas. Number 3, Chargers versus Carolina. Carolina is horrible. Bryce Young is a midget. Bryce Young is about the same height as Jonathan Gresham, you heard? He's gonna get destroyed this. Number 4, Steelers versus Denver. Bo Nix is not it. That's what his name should be. Bo not it. He's gonna get destroyed with that Steelers defense. If you had the Steelers defense, play that shit. Number 5, San Fran versus Minnesota. I feel like Sam Darnold's gonna turn into Pac-Man again this week. Hey, any question? You heard?
Hey, his top 5s are close to mine. Shit. I like.
I was about to ask you, like, what are we thinking about his top 5s?
I'm digging it. They're not wrong. I can't disagree with any of them.
Right.
I was looking at mine while he was talking. I was like, okay, we're not exactly right, but we on the same plane.
Yeah, he's in the same book. He's in the same book.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can continue to bring young Krice to Jesus back at least once a week, so we can get his takes on everything. So we're gonna talk about some wild predictions this weekend.
All right.
So wild predictions this weekend. You already started it off with a wild prediction with Malik Willis, because you said you have no choice but to believe in Malik Willis.
Gotta believe in him. For Green Bay, so he ain't going nowhere if he play like we know him to be. You know, with magnet for sacks.
I have a wild prediction this weekend. And what I want to do, I want to try to do this at least once a week. You know, have wild predictions and see how many of these wild predictions actually came true. So, my wild prediction is Gardner Minshew is going to put up over 300 yards this week.
Whoa.
That's my wild prediction. He's going to put up over 300 yards this week. The Raiders are going to lose. The Raiders are going to lose.
Right.
But for your fantasy team, Gardner Minshew may be a nice start this week.
I like that.
Yeah. You got another wild prediction?
I'm looking through my pick'ems right now. Let me see if I can got anything out the box on here. But you know, I got the Titans beating the Jets. I don't know if that's a stretch. And obviously I got the Titans beating the Jets. Yeah. Ooh. Titans beating the Jets, Packers beating the Colts, Tampa Bay beating Detroit, and New Orleans Saints beating the Cowboys. So I got all sorts of wacky.
Oh yeah. I saw that. That. That's it. You really don't like the Cowboys.
I don't. The Cowboys at home and everything, and I'm still like, nope. 3 touchdowns for Rashid Shaheed. FTW.
FTW.
Yes.
Let me see. Do I have any upsets this weekend? Oh, I got the Bears upsetting the Texans.
Oh, I like that.
I got the Bears upsetting the Texans, and I'm going to stand on that. That's a wild prediction because the Texans should run all over these boys. But I got the Bears upsetting the Texans, and I actually got Caleb Williams looking good in this game. Like he's gonna look startable this week. He's going to look startable. Now I don't know if the game is going to be a shootout or if it's going to be a defensive struggle. But Bears over and what's the over under on that game?
Give me a second. Screw. What? Okay. I shouldn't be having this much trouble finding that. Oh, Chicago, Houston. Yeah, 6.5 Houston.
6.5
over under 45.5.
45.5. Let's go over.
Yeah, by predicting, we definitely taking the over on 45.5.
Yeah, let's go over. I
like those first team to 35 kind of games.
Yeah, and then there's another team playing catch up at the end. So yeah, let's go over on that one.
I like that one.
Now, because kickers are people too, and some of y'all leagues still have kickers in them.
Insanity.
My good friend Garfield has a kicker of the week for us. So let's just see who Garfield picks as the kicker of the week this week.
And now, Garfield's kicker of the week.
Time for Garfield's kicker of the week. As much as I like lasagna, I like Brandon Aubrey this week. Aubrey reminds me of Drake, and Drake was getting kicked around all summer by Kendrick Lamar. So, lock it in.
And that was Garfield's kicker of the week.
No lie, that's adorable.
My man is ruthless.
That's going to be a head segment. Just shitting on Drake.
Garfield is ruthless for that one. That was a ruthless take, Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
What did Drake do to you?
Same thing he did to the rest of us.
that was wild. That was wild. So yeah, what you think of that? Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah,
I like Brandon Aubrey. He's one of the best kickers in the league, actually. And I'm upset that he's with the Cowboys because I don't want them to have anything good. And he came from my spring team, the Birmingham Stallions. I watched this guy kick, and I'm like, this guy's amazing, and somebody in the NFL is going to pick him up. I knew that the 49ers, needed a kicker. I was hoping that we would have got him, but you know what? After Monday, I'm not mad with Jake Moody.
No, you shouldn't be.
Jake Moody won me a couple of games last week.
No.
with my wild prediction that I didn't do it on the show. I said it to my homeboy because I thought he was going to win. And I said, hey, man, only way I'm winning is if Moody kicked like 6 field goals. And that's exactly what Moody did.
And if you can get 5-5 even out of Aubrey this week, that'll be great for your fantasy team. Probably not so great for the Cowboys. So I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I mean, they kicking field goals. I mean, they ain't scoring touchdowns. And that can only be good for the Saints defense. So
right. I don't have any shares of CD Lamb or Dak on none of my teams. So Brandon Aubrey, you can go off. You can go off.
Right. You're still gonna lose though.
Still gonna lose. Sleepers. We got any sleeper picks? Give me 1 second while I get the groove going.
Sleeper plays of the week.
All right. Got any sleepers, my boy?
I do. I'm going to say Quentin Johnson against the Panthers for a sleeper.
Somebody got to catch the ball there.
Exactly. Somebody got to do it. If it ain't the rookie, that opens it up for Quentin to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. I don't really have a sleeper this week per se, but I do got a cheat code for you guys, a cheat tip. So give me 1 second while I get that together.
Up, down, left, right, E8 start.
Cheat code.
Fuck, that's dope.
Whatever, check every one of your leagues that you are in. Check every single league that you're in. If you're in multiple leagues, home leagues, check all these leagues, because if you got a commissioner that's not a Yahoo generated bot, if you have a commissioner, he may have just set points for return yards. I'm in a league, and I did this the other day. I just started because I'm always looking for an advantage in some way, shape, or form. I'm always looking for some kind of advantage. And I checked about a few of my leagues, and we do get return yards in these leagues. So one league, it's a point. It's a point, I think, a point per every 10 return yards or some shit like that. So if you do have a league where you have return yards, you get points for return yards. You may want to look up Blackshear from Carolina. He had over 200 return yards last week. In one league, that was 20 points. That's what you want. These are the type of advantages you want on your fantasy team. Kavontae Turpin, you want to pick a guy like him up because he's one of the best returners in the league. He's always gonna get his yards. And you really want to pick up returners from teams that have bad offenses, because bad offenses, bad defenses, teams with just bad teams. You want to pick up the returner from those bad teams, because chances are those returners are going to be returning a lot, and those points add up. So if you got a returner every week, he's getting 100, 150 yards. He may score a touchdown every now and then. That's points. That's points. I would rather start that guy than a Zamir White.
I like that thinking.
So, yeah, this is something that you need to, if you're in a league and nobody is taking advantage of this, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Anytime I can think of advantages. Now I'm saying this now, and all my league mates, when they see this, they're going to start doing it. But I've already beat you guys to it. I already beat you guys to it like 3 days ago. And the one league that we're getting a point per 10 yards, nobody's doing this. And it's a money league, and nobody's doing this. So I got like 3 return guys on my team that at any given time I'm starting these guys. Like I got Turpin, I got Blackshear, I got who else did I get? I got somebody else. And Rashid Shaheed is a cheat code in leagues like this, because not only is he getting offensive points, he's getting return yard points. He had 98 return yards last week. So Rashid Shaheed probably had 30 points in some of your leagues. And you're wondering how he got 30 points? It's because he got the points for return yards. So look into that. That's my cheat of the week. That is definitely my cheat of the week.
Here's another one. You may have said it and it may have slipped my mind, but Josh Reynolds had 8 targets last week in Denver.
Yes.
Something to consider.
Yes, Josh Reynolds had 8 targets, and it was somebody else that had 8 targets in Denver.
Valet,
yes.
but he's out this week, so that just opens up more space for Reynolds. So it's being seen as though he's rostered in 1% of leagues. Y'all might want to go out and get that man.
Yeah, definitely go out and get him and Valet, because I feel like the tight ends in Denver are not it. So for Bo Nix, they're not it for Bo Nix. So Bo Nix is looking for the guys like Valet. He's looking for the guys like Reynolds. He's going to pepper them with targets. Eventually, somebody's going to have to catch the ball.
And
Eventually, somebody's going to have to score.
Yacibas again can also be. It's also just out there for no one to notice. But he had 6 targets last week. Like, go get these people. They have the opportunity. They should be on your teams.
Yeah. Target people that get targets.
Yes.
So what we have next, I believe we're going to come back maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday to wrap up the week and get you guys started early so you guys can know who to pick up from your waiver wire, who to be targeting, and who you're looking for. Boulevard, you got anything for me?
No, I'm quite pleased with this episode. I think we've done an excellent job. Even if GQ bounced on us early in the game, he went to bed. That's him. We'll be over here having fun.
Yeah, he's an old man now.
All them kids breaking his back.
All right, so this is the Fantasy Football Avengers. This was a really positive, really great, really entertaining episode. Until you guys see us again, go out there, take all of our advice, and win your leagues.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching the Fantasy Football Avengers podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Links in the description.
Why did I never see the ending before?